Let's now see if we can come up with the chemical formula for the ionic compound calcium bromide. And like always, if you are inspired, pause the video and see if you could come up with it on your own. Alright, so the convention is that we write the positive ion first. And so that's a pretty good clue that calcium is going to be the positive ion. Now let's look at the periodic table to confirm that it's likely that calcium would ionize as a cation. Well, calcium is right over here in group 2, and group 2 elements, also known as alkaline earth metals, they tend to ionize by losing 2 electrons, and that's because they have 2 electrons in their outermost shell and they would like to lose them. And so when calcium ionizes, it is going to ionize as Ca2+. Now, let's look at the bromide part. The IDE tells us that this is going to be a negative ion, or it's going to be an anion. And if you look at where bromine sits in our periodic table, right over here, we see it is a halide. We see that it likes to gain an electron. And so it makes sense that it's going to be our anion. And so bromine would like to gain an electron to have 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So our bromide anion is going to look like this. It's going to be 1-. It's going to want to gain an electron. That's what the elements in this group like to do. Now, what is the formula going to be? And remember, the key here is for an ionic compound, especially one that has, well, we don't see any net charge here. For an ionic compound, we're going to have these things are going to cancel each other out. The charge of the calcium cation is going to cancel out with the bromide anions. So how is that going to happen? Well, you have 2+ here. You only have 1- here. So you're going to have 2 bromides for every of the calcium ions. So this is going to be, for every one of the calciums, you're going to have 2 bromides. So it's going to be like this, Br2. And there you have it. That is the chemical formula for calcium bromide. And how did we know that we have 2 bromides for every calcium? Well, because when calcium ionizes, it's going to be 2+. It's a group 2 element right over here. And bromine only gets a -1 or 1- charge. So you're going to need 2 of the bromides for every one of the calciums.